Hey, Kerin, I want you to help me sell my house in Riverview. I would love to do that, but let's talk about a bunch of things. Because right now, as you're watching this video in 2026, things are a little different. Because we came out from 2020 of an unbelievable market, and now it's kind of the opposite. There's tons of inventory right now. Tons. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of homes, as well as new construction that are trying to do anything and everything for those buyers not to buy your home, but to buy their home. So when I sit down with you and I say, okay, I'm so glad you called me. Let's talk about selling your home. I'm going to ask you a couple things. Why would a buyer need to buy your home? In this market, when the inventory is flooded and they have options galore, why would they need to buy your home? Now, are you that 1% home that maybe has the in-ground pool on the cul-de-sac, or you back up to a beautiful conservation, or do you have the solar panels paid off with a brand new roof and brand new AC? Because if you do, well, then you're in pretty good shape. But if you don't, and you're just a cookie cutter home, and I don't say that negatively, I mean, you know, Riverview has a lot of communities and a lot of the same builders, and maybe you have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe it backs up to another house. What's going to make a buyer buy your house then? So the two options you have as a seller is to offer an unbelievable package to that buyer. Maybe you're saying, I'm going to help you with your closing costs, and I have an assumable loan, and I'll pay for the painting to get done, or I'll recarpet, or I'll redo the floors, or I'll put on a roof, or I'll put on AC. Yes, it does take that sometimes to sell a house in this market, but don't think of it as a loss. Think of it as an investment to get the buyer to buy your home. But here's the catch. A lot of that stuff you don't have to pay for out of pocket. You can actually hire a roofer or anybody else that will get paid at closing. Hey, maybe I'll do a separate video on that. Or you can call me or email me or whatever you want, and we can explain that more. The other avenue is just pricing it perfect for that buyer. Because remember, people search within increments of 25 and 50,000. So if your home is worth roughly 330, 340, well, if you price it in the fours, you're never going to get anybody. But if you price it at 355 and then bring it under 355 or 350, I should say, you're going to reach two separate different buyer categories. But it's really hard right now because there are a lot of sellers right now that don't have a lot of equity because they bought a couple years ago and they have to sell for whatever reason. That's going to be a tough one. We have to sit down and really go over the profits and if we can make you the money you want to make. The other thing I do want to discuss with you is there's different types of sellers. Now, I've had 2 listing appointments today before this video, and one seller said, I don't have to sell, but I would like to be able to obtain a certain amount of money. Awesome. What do you want to profit, or what do you need to profit to make sense? So let's say, for an example, you owe $200,000 and you would like to profit after everything said and done $100,000. Okay, good. So that means we got to be priced at $300,000 right off the bat. Then we got to take into consideration your closing costs, your commissions. Are we offering incentives to the buyer? What else do we need? We need a little wiggle room. Okay, so maybe we have to be at $350. Okay, can we justify a $350 sale right now in this community? Is this price going to hold up? We look at homes like that too, because remember, your home is only worth what the buyer's willing to pay, unless you're doing, let's say, a refinance or whatever the case may be. That's different. That's the bank's value. But the value of your home is only determined by the buyer's desire to buy your home. And if we can justify that price, then we can do it. There's a lot of different ways to look at real estate. Everyone looks at it one way, but it's not. There's multiple ways to look at real estate. Whether you're selling because of a divorce or a financial problem or trying to obtain a certain amount of money to move on. And this is why I'm here for you always. I've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes. I'm very good at this. And not to mention, I'm phenomenal at marketing. I am doing these videos for you to find me. Whether you see it on Tumblr, YouTube, Facebook, whatever the case may be. I do these videos constantly. So I'm always here for you. Whatever you need, contact me all the time. And let's talk about selling your house in Riverview and getting you the most amount of money possible.